What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the NIghtCap. I'm your host, Troy, and I am back with the fellas. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, man?
What up?
Salute.
Hey, Boo Up, you got your drink?
Oh, shit. What my drink at? Damn, I forgot the show.
Give Boo Up a second to get his drink so we can have a proper opening. we got Moolich back in the house. What's up, Moolich?
What up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? How y'all feeling?
We good, as you see. We got Boo Up scrambling. Look like he doing football drills. Like Boo Up over there doing football drills. Like, cheers.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
Salute.
We got SBTalkSports in the house. What's up, brother? How are you, man?
SBTalkSports, real takes over fake debates.
There you go. Introduce yourself to the people.
Man, for the people who probably don't know me, I'm from YouTube. Y'all already know from YouTube. Then TikTok, I had recently just started doing my TikTok. Been going crazy. They've been seeing me dropping knowledge on there with real takes over fake debates. You know the movement. You gotta have a real take. We ain't do no fake debates. We not the hot take extinguisher. You got to make it make sense over here. We ain't arguing for nothing.
I feel you. I like that.
Hello.
Shout out to GK for the sub early. Feel you, GK.
Yes.
We want you back on the damn show, G. We miss you over here. We gotta get it. But yeah, man, how you fellas doing on this? What is it? A Wednesday night? You know, chilling. You know, we got some good vibes. We got Moolich in the house. We got SB Talk. You know,
I'm at work. That's why I said y'all drinking. I'm sipping
he in the stupid. Yeah, sip your water. It don't matter what you sip on. It don't matter.
Yeah, as long as you got the drink, man.
As long as you got the drink. Like Moolich, what you drinking? Tea? What you drinking, Moolich? Tea?
H2O, man. Straight H2O.
It don't even matter. It don't even chat what y'all drinking. Tell us what y'all drinking in the chat. But yeah, we got SB phenomenal, going crazy on TikTok. SB Sports in the house. We met on one of my posts, I think. What was the topic?
Your boy with the AD post. I was hoping to see him on here when he said
school.
Yeah, we said AD is better than Giannis. That was blasphemous. He lucky I had a book. You see, he would have been in the book for that. He gonna be in the devil though. Look, you gotta be watching, man. I put him in the book.
Shout out to all the anime fans.
That's my man, but he was definitely wild on that tape.
Yeah, he was wild for that.
GK,
you kind of fake agree with him.
You got a what?
I say you kind of fake agree with him too, Troy. I could see a scenario where Anthony Davis is the best.
There's no way. I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all just won a championship with Drew Holiday. He wasn't in his prime. And wait, he had prime Drew and the prime Boogie Cousin put up like 25 and 12.
Hey, they got injured though. They got kind of those injuries.
Man, but Marcus got injured for sure.
GK said he drinking a frozen coffee.
He getting busy.
Yeah, Ben said he got some Kool-Aid. Shout out Ben in the chat.
Shout out Ben.
But yeah, I did say that for some spice because I knew he was gonna go somewhere with it. You gotta read the crowd and understand what you can get. You know, I understood what I could get out of it. Shout out School. I want to have him back on the day show so he could really go off and say some spicy stuff. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to be there for that. I'm have to be there.
We might have SP on Friday's show. All right. You know, with Mel getting nasty. Mel getting nasty, man.
Shout out Mel.
Mel get real nasty.
Shout out Mel. He's nasty though.
But let's get to it. KD sat down or was going to sit down. I'm not sure. I didn't see what date or what day he was planning on doing it, but I know they talked about it earlier today on the big sports shows. KD is going to sit down with the Nets and have a conversation with them. What do you guys think that conversation is going to be like?
For me, it got to be to the point because the whole plot of this movement that Durant had was to sign Kyrie Irving, but to get Kyrie Irving his money, or if not, make a move. Because the only problem that it came up with KD asked for a trade because he realized Kyrie Irving want to go to the Lakers. The only thing you really get in return is Westbrook. He don't want to play with Westbrook no more. That's where the trade request really stemmed from for me. So I feel like he's gonna probably say, okay, what do y'all want, or what can y'all do to keep me happy here? I asked for a trade because I still want to be a competitive team, which is why they came out with the Mike James thing when he said on Player's Choice that he said he knew they was going to lose. KD just want to be in a winning situation. For me, if I was the Nets, I'm standing ground. Say, look, bro, I listened to everything y'all wanted. I traded, I gutted our roster for James Harden and our future. Y'all didn't give me nothing in return. Kyrie Irving, you tell me pay your mans. He not showing nothing in return for my payment and investment. Okay, you told me to sign DeAndre Jordan.
I'm paying attention to GK on this KD conversation. Sorry, go ahead, SB.
Yeah, and then you told me to pay DeAndre Jordan, which is cool. That's your guy y'all wanted, but we had a young version of him who was better than him and Jared Allen, who's still striving in Cleveland. We did it y'all way. We're going to do it our way. And we're going to do it our way, but if Kyrie Irving wants this contract and you want your boy to play here, bring us the championship or at least get us to the finals.
Mm.
That's how I think the conversation going to go.
As it should.
Yep, I was going to say, really, as it should.
This situation with the Nets is very perplexing. So I believe if they got Kyrie and KD and Ben Simmons, they can easily probably make the Eastern Conference.
And MJ Warren, don't count on MJ Warren.
Oh yeah, can't forget about MJ Warren. But no, I just think they realistically could get at least to the second round for sure. Like at realistically, but they should be pushing for it at the bare minimum of finals. Shout out Trent. Yep. What up, bro?
Salute.
What up with you, T?
I mean, the conversation should definitely be about, all right, has the team improved? Do you see fit staying here and trying it for at least one more year to see if we can go further? But you and Kyrie got to be on the floor.
Yep.
Y'all got to be on the floor. And that's the same thing for Ben, too. Ben, you got to be on the floor. There's no excuses for nobody next year unless it's an injury. Then that's not an excuse. That's literally, if it's a reason they can't play, it's a reason they can't play. Yep. But if there's no reason why they can't play, they need to be on the floor and they need to give it their all. And I could say KD did that last season. When he was on the floor, he gave it his all. He just need the pieces around him to do the same. They didn't have Joe Harris. Seth Curry was coming into a new system. Bruce Brown played well for them, but he's not there no more. Now you got TJ and who was the other guy that they picked up? It wasn't Royce O'Neal, right?
It was Royce O'Neal.
It was Royce
O'Neal, yep.
So, I mean, you got some pieces. So you just got to make do what you got. You got to hope that everybody's healthy and just try again. I still got the Nets as a top 3 team healthy.
In the East or?
Yeah, in the East.
Yeah, I can see that easy.
I mean, it's debatable because you still got the Bucks, and the Bucks gonna come back with a bang of the Boston.
Well, I don't think the Bucks got better yet in this offseason.
They still better than me.
I
think they're fine the way they are, and they can still make the finals. The way they only didn't make.
I think too many teams. I think teams got better around them. Boston being one of them. Atlanta being. I'm not saying Atlanta's going to be in the hunt, but teams are getting better around them. Miami stayed the same for me. They didn't really do nothing. The Bucks stayed the same. They're just going to get Chris Middleton back. Does that improve them? Yes, tremendously. Yes, it gets back to championship Bucks. But if we're looking at championship Bucks, you're now asking, are you going to be able to stack up against a healthy James Harden and Embiid? Are you going to be able to stack up against Boston and all the pieces that they got now? Or if the Heat are back in that same position, they're a tough team. Even though I think they're in the same boat as Miami. They're going to be there, but they haven't changed. And I think teams are just going to figure them out to where, okay, we know Giannis is that guy. We know we're not going to stop him. Stop everybody else around him when it comes clutch time in the playoffs, and then we beat them.
Do you think with the move that Boston made them be able to beat Milwaukee because it took them 7 games?
We beat them already, so I think we have what it takes to beat them.
You said we too. You said you're Boston fan, so you speak
behind me.
I didn't see Legend.
He might be in a fade, but he right there. All right.
But I don't have what did Milwaukee shoot for 3 in that series?
No, that's fine, but that's a testament to Boston's defense. And we're not going to act like that's.
No, I think
not going to act like we wasn't getting into them, making them, and they were being physical too, and tiring themselves out early in games. So then when it came late games, Boston could put that extra pedal on and give it to you. You even seen late in the series, game 6 and game 7, Giannis be really winded at the end of those games.
That's because he had to do too much.
Right.
He had his second option.
No, 100%. If he did have a second, I agree with you. We ain't going here. We did. did, but I still think I told you even with Chris Middleton. Then I still think we beat them game 7.
I disagree from the point of the fact that with no shooting on the floor,
just as us talking sports.
But with no shooting on the floor, it made y'all easy to guard Giannis. Y'all packed the paint.
But
they shot 18%, and it took y'all 7 games to beat them from 3.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can't say it was easy for us to beat the Bucks because it wasn't.
That's bad if it wasn't easy.
No, it's not supposed to be easy.
No, if you beat a team, listen, you beat a team that shoots 18% for 3 that took you 7 games to beat them, and the guy you packing the paint, you still put them like 30 and 15.
Well, what about the games where they shot really well from the 3 when we couldn't guard them for the 3?
They won those games, right?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So we can't. But that's what I'm saying. But then what I'm saying is you got to contribute something to Boston's defense.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because we knew they beat us by the 3, and we made them take tough threes, or we made them take threes when they were the players that wasn't comfortable or wasn't in the rhythm. Bobby Porter's missing threes, Brooks missing threes, like making Giannis step out there and make him when he's uncomfortable shooting threes. Like that's all Boston. So I get what you're saying. Yeah. I still think with Middleton there, the game plan is Giannis and Middleton. Like, if we could let Middleton go off and slow down Giannis, no, we can't do that. So we got to slow down Middleton and still take his second option away from him. And I still think they do that to a high degree because of how well we play defense. And that's the same reason why I thought we would go in and beat Golden State. But Golden State offense was just too much. And by that time, we were done. We were winded. Like we weren't ourselves. I know JB, went off, but Tatum was he doesn't know what it's like to have to win 16 games to win a championship. Yeah. So there's factors that go into it.
None of those players do though.
No, and that's why I told you hunger can sometimes be experience, but with Golden State experience, it's scary.
Don't you think Giannis got more experience than the Bucks?
Oh, I mean, than the Boston? Not no more. I understand the championship. I do understand the championship, but they have both been to what? One finals. It's just one won it and one didn't.
One won it. One got the job.
That's the only difference.
And they won.
That's a big difference, short.
That's a big difference.
No, and that's what I said. That's fine. You can say it's a big difference, but the experience to get there is no difference.
But the
experience of winning it, yes. But the experience of getting to a finals and being the top team in the East, no, I don't think it's that big of a gap between Boston and the Bucks.
Now, look, don't get me wrong. The move that y'all made would definitely be the Warriors because turnovers killed y'all. I had y'all winning because y'all the better defensive team. But Milwaukee exposed the fact that literally they just needed one more shot maker because it made it easy to guard Giannis. Y'all packed the paint. Every time y'all packed the paint,
it wasn't easy to guard Giannis because Giannis still.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was easy. I think
easier. Easier to what?
Y'all packed the paint and listen. Y'all was packing the paint, and when Giannis kicked, they was missing the shot. They literally shot like 18% for 3 during the series. How do you go 7 games with a team who shot 18% of 3 in the league is ran off that now? And you literally admitted that once they shot well even a little bit, they beat y'all.
Yeah, but once we
with the problem that y'all have with the turnover,
right?
Too.
But also in the games where the Bucks beat us, we were not shooting well from the 3 or the field.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what I'm saying. It's the flip of the coin. It's like it went back and forth as the series should have went. And I think even with Middleton there, you can save the edges to Milwaukee, but I think this year was the time that Boston was going to beat the Bucks with or without Middleton.
It don't look like
honestly,
that.
I think so too. I just think
say that, but the game is different. The games are different if Middleton's in the game.
Every game Milwaukee lost, they lost because Giannis got tired.
Yep,
100%. 100%, and the others didn't step up, but that's a you have to contribute that to Boston's defense.
We're not taking no credit from Boston. What I'm still saying is that if you can't do what they was able to do to Giannis, because now he got Middleton, a shot creator on the
closer
outside.
too.
The closer
too.
Yeah, but that's fine. But what I said is the adjustment comes where Udoka goes in, knowing that Middleton is the second option. If you stop Middleton, Giannis still has no second option.
That makes Drew Holiday's job easier.
He has no second option.
Drew Holiday had to step up in a way.
Drew Holiday struggles the same way he struggled.
No, as a third option,
we're not just
as a third option.
Middleton.
No. So you honestly believe that if you play the same way y'all played in Middleton,
but that's what I'm saying. We're not playing the same way we play. Y'all looking at it as we're playing the same. We're not. Middleton then becomes a factor. That's what I'm saying. Middleton is a factor then. So then
I think he adjusts. I think that's the reason why it doesn't matter if Chris Middleton's there or not.
Giannis, not just Giannis.
I think he adjusts.
That's like saying Middleton is a role player, y'all.
No, it's not. The game plan that we had the game plan that we had against Bucks was for Giannis because Chris Middleton wasn't there, and we had him put his trust in Bobby Portis, Grayson Allen, and those guys to knock down threes, and they couldn't. We can't sit here and say, yes, he did. You said that. I gave you your props. He averaged 30 and 10, but what did I tell you? Also, when you said Giannis averaged 30 and 10, what you said didn't matter is when I told you what are the others going to average. It's not going to matter if Giannis averages 30 and 10 if his others don't average points too or give him 10 to 15 points. And when that did not happen, Boston did it. Going into game 7, that series was anybody's. Right, but that's how it was supposed to be. We're playing the defending champs. So we swept the Bucks.
They're not playing the official defending champs. They didn't have their second best player.
They didn't.
No, that's fine.
That's like fine. Saying Boston in
08. You can't say that one player's not there. So in 08, when don't matter enough to say that that's the championship team.
In 08, when Boston won the title, the next year KG was out. Is that the same team?
It's not. But what I'm saying is. Right, it's not the same team. But what I'm saying is you can't sit here and then be like, so what was the rest of the players that was on that championship team? They were a part of the team. So wait, I get that you're taking one piece out, and it's a vital piece, just like KG. Middleton is a vital piece to their defense. But what I'm saying, to their offense, not defense. He's a vital. He's a solid defender. But what I'm saying is Udoka comes in with a different game plan if it's Chris Middleton and Giannis, and he's not coming in with the same game plan if it's just Giannis.
It's the adjustment.
We go game 7. We go game 7 because they are a championship team.
So
with Chris Middleton in or not, those guys. Yes, he did, but the adjustments experience overweighed his adjustments.
So that could be the same thing that happened in the Milwaukee series.
I'm not saying that way. I'm not saying it can't. But what I'm saying from what I saw and what I think of how Boston progressed, everybody that they lost to, they went through, and this year was the year that they were going to do it. If it was if it was one year, it was this year that I think Boston, with or without Chris Middleton, got past the Bucks. In a game 7. I'm not saying it's a game 5. I'm not saying 4 games. I'm saying in a game 7, Boston still beats the Bucks. That's what I'm saying. I'm not looking at. I don't think
y'all make it to 7 games.
What you guys are looking at. No, I think definitely we make it to 7. It's going 7.
It's going 7. I think it's going 7.
What you guys are looking at. What you guys are looking at. Right.
With all the adjustments.
But what you are looking at is how this series played out without Chris Middleton. You cannot do that if you're adding Chris Middleton there because our defense and the way we play is different. It's going to be different. Just the same way that the Bucks are going to play different. We're going to play different. So you can't say, it looks like if Chris Middleton was there,
the Bucks are going to play better. Fuck different. They're going to play.
They're not playing better.
And then only main.
Bobby, remember when you was yelling Bobby and Julius?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the role players play better.
Only main ingredient that y'all added was Malcolm Brogdon. The only thing he's gonna slow down is just turnovers, really. But what drastic change Malcolm Brogdon gonna change your offense? Nothing. It's the reason why y'all. It's the
facilitating. That's the reason why we got him because that's what we lack.
But it's the reason why y'all made that call for Kevin Durant because y'all roster is set to beat
I don't
Warriors.
Believe
y'all not set.
That's a different story.
No, but the reason why y'all made that call for Kevin Durant is because Giannis Antetokounmpo. Y'all know y'all not set to beat the Bucks because y'all just took Miami Game 7 with Jimmy Butler by himself with no other scoring option. When y'all played a team with another scoring option with a just a good enough defense, y'all lost.
But the Warriors, that's 100%. I would not dispute that we went to Game 7 with the Bucks and then Game 7 with the
which y'all shouldn't have.
But you're not going to sit here. Yes, we should have. There's no way because what you guys are doing is you're becoming prisoners of the moment. You're looking at how Boston beat the Nets, and then you go into a crippled Bucks team who still had the best player in the league, as Buwap said it. The best player, it doesn't matter. He's the best player in the league. He's going to win the series. And then it turns out that he could not do it by himself. And it's like, Chris Middleton was there, it would be different. Like, no, we all know if Chris Middleton was there.
He literally almost did it by himself, though, Troy. He literally
almost doesn't count.
It does count. Almost doesn't count. We're talking about at Middleton. It does count.
Almost does not count because we're changing the scenario of Middleton is there.
Somebody.
This is the night show.
That's like trying to say if Shaq's not, if Kobe's
his team shot 18% from 3. I think shot a low percentage from 3.
SB, I would not.
That matters. That matters a lot.
I would not debate with you at that point. It does matter, but it matters because of Boston's defense, not just because they shot it that way. And that's what I'm saying. You guys are giving the respect to Boston's defense, but then saying they shot 18%. Yes, because Boston affected them. Because Giannis had the ball in his hand all the time, designed by the defense, and wanted him to drive and kick. We wanted that because we are good at getting back to the ball. That's what Boston's thing. So why wouldn't we want Giannis to drive and kick? We want him to drive and kick to get there and defend. No, that was the game plan though. If Chris Middleton was there, we wouldn't have.
Chris Middleton is a great shooter.
That's what I'm saying. You're not listening.
So if you don't pack the paint, Giannis scores 40,
and that's fine. What does Chris Middleton score? That's what I'm saying. You can still say Giannis scores all he wants, but you sat here and said Giannis' second option isn't there. But if the second option is there and Boston game plan for his second option to make Chris Middleton have a bad game or affect his game in a way where he's not having a good game, guess what? The Bucks still lose in game 7 to me. No. To me, yes, they do. To me, yes, they do.
I understand that logic. That's what I was saying too.
Yeah. And now I feel like the difference that you think, because first of all, I'm a Bulls fan, but Jason Tatum is one of my favorite players in the league. The difference between the Nets series and other series, the Nets don't have no defense, and they couldn't keep them.
No, 100%. And that's why they lost the Bucks. But that's what I also want to. That's what kept the Bucks and helped them get to a game 7 and helped the Heat get to a game 7. What's their defense? Yeah, like Boston is still gaining. Right, they're still gaining experience. Right, we never said that the offense was so over the top of these guys' defense. We came into it on this podcast talking how the Bucks offense was going to overweigh Boston's defense. And in some games it did that. But when it comes down to a 7-game series, adjustments are made. Boston made the right adjustments to the team that was in front of them. That's it. We could sit here and we could go back to Giannis year 2 when they were playing hobble teams to go and win their championship. We could do the same thing as we're doing to Boston getting to a finals. They shouldn't go game 7. No, it's a tough games. They played to win. We can't sit here and say it can't go to a game 7. Like the Bucks wasn't supposed to do everything in their power to win that series. And to me, they did. With the team that was in front of them, they did everything they could to win because we could have beat them in 6.
Y'all should have.
And we should not have if you're looking at it from the Bucks standard of them being the defending champions. We took them to 6
without
and it's
their
like
second best player. That's
right.
Like saying
but
the
even
if I'm
anybody on the Bucks, no, boo up. If I'm anybody on the Bucks, I'm not sitting here like we don't have our second best player. I'm sitting here like we are defending champions. I put the work in to be called that. No, yes, they had to switch their game plan. You're not listening. I don't disagree with none of that. But what I'm saying is you cannot look at this Boston team and the way this Boston team played this Bucks team and the injuries that the Bucks had and then be like, oh, Chris Middleton there, it looked like it would be a difference. We don't know what kind of defense Boston's going to play. What's the game plan going in? Who are they going to target?
Troy,
we're going off of hypotheticals here.
No, the history
now we're going
of
off the history of basketball.
Yes, that's the only thing I can do, Troy. That's the only thing I can do, Troy.
Milwaukee players like a totally different Milwaukee player.
That's like me trying to tell you that
history told me.
That's like me trying to tell you that when what was it last year when the Nets beat the Celtics in 5, wasn't Jaylen Brown missing? Don't you think that series would have been different without Jaylen?
Right, but if Boston was defending champions, those guys would have been in that game saying to themselves, "We are defending champions. We have to get it done."
But that's why I took y'all 7 games.
The next guy up. Does it not? They don't use that logic in the NBA. The next guy up. It's the reason why they have players there. It's already predicted that somebody might go down. The next player that's supposed to step up is supposed to help them. Grayson Allen did not do what he needed to do
Grayson
for the
Allen
Bucks.
and Chris Middleton is not a real guy.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. But I'm saying Grayson Allen was supposed to come in and give something in the space, in that void of Chris Middleton, and he could not do it. That's what I'm saying. Right. I'm talking to your logic. Bobby Portis was supposed to hit threes. He did not do it. That's fine.
He did
some, but now I'm talking about to the
He's not a number 2 option, Troy. You're asking these guys to be number 2.
No, that's what Booz or whoever the coach is asked them to do. But I didn't make the game plan.
You can only play what you got to play, Troy. That's right.
So you want Grayson Allen to be the closer? You want Grayson Allen to be the closer?
I'm not saying no. Giannis is the closer, but we're not
with Middleton.
Not with
Middleton there.
Yes, and that's fine. But I could go back last year and the year before that of the big heads talking about is Middleton really a closer? So I can do that if I want to be spicy, but I'm not going to.
He proved that though.
I know what he is. I know what he is, and I'm not saying the gap of him missing is not important. That's what you guys. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that you cannot look at this Bucks team and the way this Boston team beat them game 7, add Chris Middleton to that and be like, oh, Chris Middleton beats them. Of course you can say that. You've seen how it played out.
Game 7, Troy. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And that's your opinion. I think it's a game 7, and I think Boston wins it. like whether Chris Middleton is there or Chris Middleton isn't there.
A lot.
And I explained it.
Y'all not gonna make it
like 3 times.
Not with.
I can respect your opinion, SB. That's me.
No. I respect your opinion, but y'all not gonna make it that far. Your team, the Boston made every move to beat the Warriors this offseason. Y'all did not make moves to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. To me,
no,
Milwaukee's still the best team in the East.
That's not true. The Bucks is the obstacle.
Yeah, I think
the Bucks is the first real obstacle in any team's way getting out the East. It's the Bucks. You have to be prepared to beat the Bucks, or you don't beat them.
Mike Levin.
I don't see it.
That's fine. I see it.
I understand.
Yeah, I see it. I just saw it.
I don't see it.
I just saw it.
Yeah, you seen some. That's like me trying to. If that's like in 2001, if Shaq shows up to the second round without Kobe, and I'm like, oh, Kobe don't matter. I'm
not saying. I did not once say no. It is not. I sat here 3 times and announced that Chris Middleton changes the game for the Bucks. I don't know what more you want me to tell you, Boo.
Do he not make them better? Do he not make it better?
I said that 3 times already. I said it 3 times already. I said it
better.
3 times. But if he makes them better, Boston is the best defense in the league, right? Would they not be better playing them? Yes.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
That don't mean that. No, that don't mean
yes,
that.
They would, because the game plan, to me, it does. To me, it does. How? We can leave it at that. We can just leave it at that. I just explained how, Boo. I don't understand it. With or without Chris Middleton, I think this was the year Boston.
You're saying they get better. So if that's like you basically saying, oh, well, I could add Kevin Durant to the Bucks, and the Boston defense is just going to Super Saiyan up.
Now, see, all these hypotheticals you have to throw out there to fit your point.
Doing,
no, it's
I'm
not.
not making no.
I know I'm not. I didn't make not one hypothetical.
Makes the Bucks better.
Yes, and I said
you're hoping that the Boston defense can adjust.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I saw them adjust. Only team they did not adjust to is Golden State. How? That's the only team they didn't adjust. That adjustment did not work.
How did they adjust to?
They made the finals. How don't they? How did? Tell me how a team makes the finals and don't adjust. Tell me that, Boo. Please tell me how a team makes the finals and don't adjust.
Milwaukee without Middleton, Troy.
How do they adjust? Because they have a whole season of game plan for them. You don't think if they go into the series at the first game, Udoka knows the game plan he's going to have to go against the Bucks with Giannis and Chris Middleton? That's blasphemous to sit here and think Chris Middleton is just going to blow Udoka's mind and he has no game plan for the Bucks.
Nobody's saying that. I'm simply saying that you have a second option.
Yes, and I said if they had a second option, one of the game plans I would go with is taking the second option away and still make Giannis a one-man show.
That is way harder to do.
No, Troy. It's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. We see it done all the time in the playoffs. We see it done every single time in the playoffs. Every single year, teams take the second option away and make you go to your third option, your fourth option to get points. What are you saying? This is turning into a day show, Boo.
Hey,
I don't
Boston
understand
did it this year with Clay.
That's so crazy. I said this is the year that I think with Udoka, Boston figured it out how to get past the Bucks with or without Chris Middleton. That's not that crazy to say that the number one defense in the league will figure it out and make adjustments to get past a team. It's not that crazy.
I feel the same way. It's not that
crazy.
It's very.
You're sitting here acting like it's crazy as hell. It's not that crazy.
It's very crazy to me.
It's not that crazy. Lie. It's not
at
all.
I just think that's a lot of the Boston in you, Troy. Like,
no,
not
it's
gonna
not.
lie.
It's me talking as what I saw. And I think as the number one defense that flipped that switch and knew what they were doing, they went into that series knowing they could win it. And it was going to be hard. It wasn't going to be easy. You think the Bucks win there like, yeah, let's sweep them. Or if they go in there with Chris Middleton, oh, this is easy. No, they were worried about Boston. They were worried about getting past Boston.
Any team.
But see, the Bucks beat them. No, see, but what you're missing, the fact of the point is Boston ran it with the Warriors beating. They ran to the first team that was just as good as them defensively with another option of scoring, so that they couldn't play as hard. Because now with Boston, you can't turn the ball over.
You're talking about the one option, right?
No.
Can space the floor unlike Giannis. That's what you're talking about.
But no,
you're talking about the one option that can space the floor unlike Chris Middleton. That's what you're talking about. That gives his guys the space to work. Giannis does not do that unless the team is collapsing on him like Boston. And when you go against a team that's collapsing on you, the one thing that team has to be good at is getting back to the perimeter. And that's what Boston was good at. That's why I say Boston will still beat the Bucks with or without Chris Middleton, because Giannis is still going to drive and kick. He's still going to drive and kick. He's still going to drive and kick. And guess who's going to be there when he kicks? The arms of Boston. That's who's going to be there. So it's not that crazy for me to say that Boston will beat them with or without Chris Middleton.
Just a shooter.
No, I'm not. But if Giannis is driving, where is the ball going?
To the perimeter, and it don't mean
that
what
I said was
it don't mean that he got to shoot.
And what I said was Boston is good at getting back there. You can take that however you want it. You can take that however you want it because if they get back there, you drive. There's still a body there. If you get back and shoot, there's a hand there.
I don't believe. I'm just saying. Just to guarantee Milwaukee played horrible and took y'all 7 games. That's the point you missing. They played horrible.
No, I admitted 7.
That. Just guaranteeing that. Because what moves did y'all make that say that y'all can beat Milwaukee?
We already beat them. I don't think you can sit here and say that Boston going up with better facilitating coming out of Brogdon. Somebody else that can put the ball in the basket that can be consistent in Galladay, right? A team that has some experience, right? A chip on their shoulder.
Gallinari. You talking old man Gallinari?
I'm talking about Mamma Mia. Yes, I'm talking about Galladay. When players get older, what do they become? A lot of shooters that shoot early in their career become better shooters when they're older.
Defensively, right? No more.
That's fine. Right? That's fine. Situational basketball. Situational, but you put him in the moments where you need him. I'm going crazy here. I'm going crazy. You use them in the situations where you need them. You cannot sit here and say one of the things Boston struggled with was turnovers. The way you get your turnovers better is having a better facilitator. They have a better facilitator. Now the question is, where do you use Brogdon? Do you use him in your starting lineup, right, and have him facilitate the ball for Brown and JT, right? Or do you have him coming off the bench? So when Marcus Smart plays his 8 minutes, he comes in and then Brogdon's in the game with either Tatum or Brown, and he's facilitating. Somewhere that gets better. Gallinari plays 4 minutes a quarter just to give us some offense where Tatum and Brown needs a rest? Like that's not that crazy to say that, defensively, Galladay, Darnello might not be all of that, but Brogdon is good defensively.
Because you think first of all, he gonna drop your defense down on the floor, and then he's gonna play the 3-4 position. That means he either got to guard Giannis or Middleton. That's cooked food every time.
Listen, you could be 100% right there, but he don't automatically have to guard Giannis.
I think he may live with that though.
Or got to guard Middleton.
I think he lives with that.
You can't live with Giannis getting off easily though.
You said that this year.
Situational basketball.
Get off easily, Troy. He just did what he had to do.
For the first 3 quarters, he got off easily.
No, he really didn't. Boston made him work every day.
He definitely gassed out. He
got away with 17 charges.
Boston gassed him out. That's why. But
not 17.
He had to start forcing shots because you'll get tired of kicking the ball out and everybody missing.
Yeah.
Even open shots, they was
them hands was getting there. Them bodies was.
No, they was missing open shots.
Yeah, because open shots. Okay, they were just sleeping. That's all they were doing.
Well, at that point, you have no rhythm if you just.
Yeah, exactly. And I said that in the beginning. Boston kept them out of a flow. Boston kept them out of their rhythm. That's the defense. That's not just them not being able. That's players have off nights. I said that before. Yes, they do. They have off nights, but some off nights are contribute to how well the defense is playing the star on the team, the other star on the team. Whereas your chance to step up, you step up. Boo up. You said this to me in the thing. Oh, role players play better at home. And then we go in and we make them play bad on their home court. That's to the defense, not. It's like saying, "Oh, they play bad," and just saying they play bad. It's like no obstacles in their way to play good.
But they won 2 of their 3 games at home,
right? And we took the most important one on that floor, did we not?
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good point.
Agreed.
Did they? Did they?
You know, my whole point is
I don't think they believe. They won game.
We got 1 game 2. I think we won game 2.
Because Giannis done won game 1 in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Then Boston.
Yeah, then we went back and split with them.
Yeah.
Yep.
They won game 4. Then Giannis won game 5. And the Bucks. No, the Celtics won game 5.
Giannis and won game 6, and we won game 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So again, I look. All I'm telling you is that I cannot see where a second option does not make, like a guy like Chris. He's legit second option in this league. You cannot act like and they close it. You cannot act like everybody else's jobs, including Giannis, don't become a little bit easier.
Where did I act like that? I said it does. I said yes.
So if that happens,
change the aspect of the game, but you're not going to sit here and say Chris Middleton changes the aspect of the game and Boston aspect of the game does not change too. That's what I'm saying, Boo-Wop. That's what I'm saying. You cannot change the aspect for one per team and not say the other team is going to adjust to that one aspect getting added onto that team. Because when you think about the Bucks, you think about Chris Middleton and Giannis together, not just Giannis together.
So if you got to worry about someone else, that cannot?
How many times do I have to say yes? It makes a factor, but you're not going to say it's that much of a factor that it just wipes out anything that Boston does. I don't believe that.
Wiping it out don't mean it's. Listen, Troy. It don't mean it's not a close series. It's just realistically, you should be able to see from what we've seen, and I think most people. I think 90% of the people.
No, just speak for yourself. Don't.
I didn't talk to enough people. I didn't talk to enough people, Troy. I talked to enough.
That's because you guys are living in the moment or watching the series the way it played out just now.
You can't help it, Troy. You move the goalposts. You can't help it.
I didn't move no goalposts. I'm staying on topic.
I'm saying with that series, Troy, you went from I think we're gonna win in 6 till it might be 7.
I said 6-7. I could run the tape back. I said Boston wins 6-7 from the jump. From the jump, I said 6-7. So don't say I moved the goalpost because I didn't move no goalpost. I told you from the get. I think Boston can win in Game 6, but if not, we win in Game 7. And Game 7 is what I lean toward like 3 games into the series. I have all the footage.
Yeah, I have Boston in 7 regardless.
We understand.
But from what history has showed us in basketball wise, if you got one star going off in the series and everybody else around them playing bad, they usually lose in like 5 games. The max.
Listen,
that's also you can't guarantee that Boston going to beat them next year. Guarantee. I can't guarantee that.
Brown steps up just as much as Middleton steps up in those games. I believe that wholeheartedly that Jason Tatum and JB tries to their damn best to match what Giannis and Chris Middleton is giving them, and they beat them in Game 7.
So I love Jay. I rock with Jay Tatum. I hope that it happens.
I don't understand why I got to explain myself 5 times the same thing, and then I'm being told by Buap that I moved the goalpost when I told you guys from the jump where I had Boston. I had Boston winning the series regardless.
I think he may adjust accordingly.
Was going 6-7.
No, I'm talking about next year
because he could.
No, I'm just saying
that's why I feel like it doesn't. I'm not saying it wouldn't matter if Chris Middleton was playing. I'm not saying because he's a dog.
I would have loved to see Chris Middleton play Boston scheme against them and beat them, and then hear what you have to say.
If Chris Middleton was playing, he may would have adjusted accordingly, and Boston would have still won.
Trust me,
because I had Boston winning the series regardless if Chris Middleton was playing or not. That's 100%. Just me.
That's me too. That's me too.
That's cool. That's fine. And again, I'm not saying that's wrong for neither one of y'all to think that Boston could win the series. Yes, they could. But from what we've seen, all I believe is that with a legit, some real help, because he didn't have no help, Giannis. It took the team to beat Giannis. It took the Boston Celtics to beat Giannis.
7 games.
That's what you want to call it. But we didn't see nobody else step up, really. We didn't see
understand that point.
Shit happens.
I can understand that point.
Shit happens.
We know.
Like I said, I could say the same thing last year when the Bucks were on their way to a championship. I could say the same thing for the Suns when they're on their way to the championship. That a lot of players was hurt on the way there, and that's why they beat the teams that they beat.
What significant option was hurt?
We can start with the Nets.
Okay. Start with them.
It's over with. I'm done. That's all I have to say. The Nets.
Okay.
What are we talking about here? Please let me know.
What you mean what we talking about?
What we talking about, Bua?
What you mean what we talking about?
What we talking about, Bua?
What you talking about?
You said give you an example. I did. Did I not?
You gave me an example. What does that mean though?
What do you mean? What does it mean?
Okay.
Right, I'm lost, Bua. You asked me for example. I said the Nets. You said let's get into it. I said it's over. I don't need to get in. That's all I need to say. If you're talking about a team that the Bucks beat last year, that the series could have went a different way, right? Because did it not go to Game 7 if Kyrie and James Harden was fully healthy?
They would have beat Milwaukee.
I don't understand, Bua.
What? You right, sure. I
don't understand.
You right, Troy. You right. You right, Troy. You right.
Now, my whole point was just worry about how the team is built coming into this year and can they beat Milwaukee? Because I say Milwaukee's not going to play that bad again, and then they're going to have another.
No, I don't believe that. I believe it would be still a close. If Boston and Bucks meet next year, fully healthy.
I can't guarantee Boston win. That's what I'm saying. You said you guarantee Boston win.
No, I'm not saying if it sounds like I said guarantee. I said I said this year, with or without Chris Middleton, I had the Bucks. the Boston beating the Bucks. I'm not saying next year is a guarantee. Next year, the Bucks can come back and wipe Boston in 6 and 5 and 4. We don't know what's the game plan they're going to have against this newly looking Boston team. Because that's also another factor that we did not take in is Boston is a new-looking team. It might be the same players, but they don't play the same way that they played Giannis in the previous 3 years in the playoffs.
I don't know. You do got Larry Bird behind you, so it's a little.
Nah, you could boo up know when it's Boston and he feel it. He feel it's a little Boston in it. That's fine. But I'm just speaking from what I saw from Boston and what I saw from the Bucks. Yes, they needed Chris Middleton. I'm not taking that away from them. If Chris Middleton was there, it's a 100% different series. I think it's a different series on both sides, and that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I understand what you're trying to say, but I just think it's a tougher I agree
with you.
That's
definitely.
I agree with you. But what I'm saying is Boston lives up to that harder job to get it done.
And if I wouldn't even be arguing with you honestly if Boston would have beat them in 6. They would have beat this team in 6. I would have wholeheartedly be sitting here telling you I could see a scenario where they could still probably beat the Bucks in a game 7 with Middleton, because that to me signifies that they truly got them up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like for game 7, anything could have happened. Game 7, anything could have happened. Giannis could have won that series and then what? But he didn't, because at the end of the day, Boston was the better team. Boston was the better team at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think with Chris Middleton, they're more of an even team. I don't think that, and I said that at the beginning, I don't think the gap is that great.
I think it was this right here without Middleton. I think with Middleton, that just make them the better team. Simple.
No, I don't agree.
Simple.
I disagree.
It's just simple.
I disagree.
It took that team to beat Giannis in the Bucks in 7. With Middleton, everybody should be able to see that they're a better team. So I just believe with Middleton, they're just a slightly better team.
Gee, we got to that. I agree with everything. I agree with the things that Middleton brings to the Bucks. But if you guys are going to sit here and tell me that Boston is not going to fucking game plan for Chris Middleton along with Giannis, and they can figure it out in a 7-game series and beat them in game 7. I didn't say game 6. I didn't say game 5. I didn't say 4. You're talking like you're going at me like I said that Boston could beat them in 4 games. With Chris Middleton, I said 7. 7. That means it's a long, hard series, and teams have to go back and forth, doing adjustment, and who adjustments comes out. I think Udoka's adjustment comes out. Some games are won by being out-coached, and not just the players on the court. Not just the players. So what I'm saying is I think if we put that scenario somewhere in there, Udoka figures it out and out-coaches the Bucks coach. And that alone might win us a game or 2, which can ultimately make us win in game 7. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's hands down Boston chops them up and turns them in chopped meat and gives you a chopped cheese. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying that it's still a tough series, but I still got Boston edging them. I'm not saying it's a big edge. I'm not saying I think the teams are flat dead even, full healthy now. The system that Boston has in place, you got the Boston next year. Those players played in that system for a full year now. So now they fully understand how the machine works. Now they can know their roles and play in those roles. You only added 2 new additions. That's not that hard, right? To add into the system that you already got there, right? Especially with a guy that you need to facilitate the ball, right? And another guy that's just going to play probably 4 minutes a quarter. If that. Just to get a little shooting, a little offense, because we were lackluster in the Golden State series when our stars came out. We couldn't find scoring. It was the same thing. We looked like the damn Bucks to me in that series against Golden State. So I'm not willing to say it's that big of a gap between the Bucks and Boston if both teams are fully healthy.
I'm not saying it's a gap either. I'm just saying I think the Bucks is just a better team when they're healthy. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Is I think Boston is a better team when healthy.
I don't think it's a gap. I just think.
I mean, Boston got good late because you gotta remember y'all was at the bottom of the East until y'all made them trades. Y'all got hot
until the guys bought into the system. Don't say just like it was.
Nah, but we gotta don't just say like Boston was good out here.
Boston wasn't good Derek White. We added Derek White. Who else did we add?
They added Derek White and
But I think just Derek White. But you just said added
Derek
one
White.
player
That's
to the
all we
system.
added.
Wait.
White.
Well, wait. That's my point, though. You just said added one player to the system. Same thing. That's
Right, but the other players, Brown, Tatum, Smart. Why did Smart come out and say what he said in the beginning of the season? Because none of those guys bought into the system yet. They were still doing the same thing they were doing under Brad Stevens. When those guys stopped, listened, held each other accountable, they changed the way they played, and they started to play more as a team. It had nothing. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it had nothing to do. Yeah, it has something to do with getting Derek White there and being able to have him come off the bench and play some defense and give you some scoring here and there. But it goes to those guys buying into the system, and that's why I also said this year was the year Boston beat the Bucks with or without Chris Middleton, because they bought into that system, and that system turned everything around for them. You don't know what that does to somebody's mental when they know that they bought into something and it's working. Yeah. And it worked at the end. It just did not work against Boston. So now you hit the drawing board. You hit the drawing board and you see if you can get yourself back in that position. I don't think Boston finishes in the second seed next year.
You think it'll be the first in?
No, no, because I think if the Nets are healthy, they're top three. The Bucks are still top three healthy. But I also think Philly might could be top three next year.
No, I think Boston better than.
I think Boston is better than Philly, but I think Philly
not necessarily Philly.
I got Boston over the Nets too.
I got Boston over the Nets for sure.
Well, if the Nets are fully healthy with Kyrie, Kevin Durant,
fully healthy, I just think that
they
don't care about the regular season like that either, too.
But the regular season doesn't matter. You can't say it doesn't.
It's about the Nets, like Kyrie and Kevin.
They don't care like that.
As long as they get in the playoffs,
right? They feel like
but they seen what they're gonna start caring now because they seen what that did to them this year.
I just think you still got to see what they look like with Ben Simmons, even though I think
they're
gonna be solid for the most.
I think the defense increases. I don't care about Ben Simmons on offense. I want to be aggressive and dunk on some people.
Offensively they better because you got a point guard again.
Yeah, you got somebody that can facilitate the ball to Kyrie and Joe Harris and KD and Seth Curry and all those guys. I do agree with you. That's why I'm saying I think they could finish top three. And the only reason why I'm saying I think 76ers could finish top three is because if it's all on health. If Joel Embiid stay healthy, you already know best big man leads me. But if Joel stay healthy and Harden stays healthy, that's a tough duo to beat. Yeah. In the regular season, that's a tough duo to beat, and that's why I'm saying I can see them finishing top three.
I was saying, with playoff start, that's a different story.
Boston can finish 4 or 5, and I'm not mad at them because if the Bulls are healthy, they're a good regular season team. Yeah. I just still need to see what they look like healthy in the playoffs. Miami still might be there. Miami still might be there, but I'm not really sure about them because, like I said, they stay stagnant. My Boston, my Bucks, because I know that's where it started. My Bucks not changing doesn't mean they fell. I just think teams around them got better. They still could be the top team, but I think teams around them got better. And it's not just like, all right, you're there and it's undisputed like it was with Golden State or with LeBron his 8-year run in the East. And it's not undisputed like you're going to make it to a finals. You know, you got some bumps in the road. And Boston is one of those bumps. They're going to come out next year with or without Chris Middleton, determined to beat Boston. They are.
Middleton healthy though. He's gonna.
No, Middleton. He got to stay healthy though because he is dealing with some injuries.
But you say the same thing about Brogdon too though. Brogdon got to get through the season too.
But so does Brown, and so does Brown. Brown gets injured sometimes.
We can just say injuries is we already know like
whatever. So we just talking fully healthy teams. I definitely think. I definitely think the Nets can finish top 3 fully healthy. No injuries throughout. Kyrie's there full time.
Yeah, they definitely a team that could be a top 3 seed. That we're not going to deny them of it, but I just still think Boston, Philly, and the Bucks are better teams than the Nets right now.
No, I
can understand why you say that.
Yeah, it's not that I'm not that far disagreeing with you, but I just think healthy those guys get it together. They got some defense now, Boston. Like I said,
they should and they need.
You just got to have Simmons be that defensive anchor, have Claxton be the boat behind him. To block shots and stuff like that. And you just got to let the offense go through Kyrie and KD. And Joe Harris is that spot-up shooter, catch and shoot. Seth off the bench and stuff. So I think, and then TJ Warren, too, adds another aspect to the game because he can put the ball in the basket. He just got to be consistent for him. That's a big question mark for me. I think if he could come out and play consistently for the Nets, people are going to have a hard time playing them because KD could give you 30, Kyrie could give you 30, and if you sleep on TJ Warren, he could give you 25 to 30.
He gonna be key off the bench.
We gotta put a bubble on him or something. Put a bubble suit on him.
Yeah, definitely put a bubble around him. We gotta say the same for Murray though too.
He'll be key coming out off their bench for sure. Like he can easily.
Who would it be?
Running.
Him, Seth.
Yeah, I think
Patty Mills stayed, right?
Yeah. I don't really like that though. Defensively, like offensively, Patty Mills and Seth Curry on the court is nice, but I think defensively that hurt them a lot. Like you can't just have two small guards on there. Like
you got to mix them in. You can't play them at the same time.
And they
you got to mix them in.
But I don't think they played them at the same time that much.
But they had to because they got the injury.
A lot of people
when they got down the stretch when they started. When they got injuries, then it was like, all right, we gotta start playing. But that's the same reason why the Heat played Robinson.
Yeah, and they stopped. And I believe Robinson should have played more against y'all.
He definitely should have played more.
Yeah, I think they would have had a better chance if they played Robinson. They gave him another aspect, but I think, like I said, that goes to.
Oh, that's bro, huh? That's
cool.
That's the AD guy.
Oh yeah, they go school. He wants you. Y'all got to get together on the episode.
Yeah.
We got to set it up.
Definitely.
You got to explain that logic to me, man. I don't know what's going on.
Who called me out trying to piggyback and try to get you to say it, and I got you to say it.
Keep it a buck. You debating the guy who shouldn't made the top 75 over a guy who solidified in the top 75.
And that'd be what, Dwight Howard?
Yep, Dwight Howard. I don't think AD shouldn't have made it. Dame should have made it, or Reggie Miller shouldn't have made it.
I ain't super mad at the Reggie at all.
Reggie, I'm not mad at.
I feel like he got more.
I'm not mad at it. I'm just kind of shocked. Like what?
No, I'm not super mad at it either though, and I'm not mad at the Dame either. Like Dame to me is a guy that was fringe. Like
the Dame at all.
Fringe. Like I see why they try to put him in there, but then again, like
when you
I don't think Dame belongs there yet.
I think. The guys that got
Dame Lillard is Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller ain't doing no more than what Dame Lillard did. So to say Dame don't be there, Reggie don't look at him.
Exactly.
Dame did more in his career than Reggie, and they did the same thing with clutch shots.
I think Dwight Howard should have been in there. I think
that's
Parker should have been in there.
Tony Parker should have definitely been in there. Ginobili,
definitely.
I don't know about Ginobili.
If you was gonna put Reggie and Dame, you could have put T-Mac up. You could have put T-Mac in there if that was the case. Because
T-Mac,
I can't put Ginobili over. I can't put Ginobili over Reggie Miller, like as a player.
Yeah, because that's the first option versus a first.
I see why, but Manu gets in for me only because.
Yeah, Manu definitely gets in because
Manu a Hall of Famer now.
That Euro step
changed the game.
That Euro step changed the game.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer for
and
sure.
he give you buckets, man. Tony Parker definitely won it. I remember with Tony Parker that shot he hit over Tim Duncan, right? Not Tim Duncan, LeBron. Was it that floater he hit over LeBron?
Floater, yep.
I just think the top 75 is a real tough group. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard to make one, bro.
Yeah, and
but what are the criteria of it?
Whatever, man. Look at that. You could
because there's a lot of guys on it that we could go back in history and be like, oh, this guy only averaged 10 points.
I'm gonna tell you the credentials.
You can make that a segment in or out top 75, man.
We did that before.
I'm gonna tell you all this though. The NBA credentials on any awards or anything is like when you open your map in GPS and they give you 5 different directions to get to that same one goal. It's different every time. It's different. They make different credentials.
They do.
Now watch this. I got a question for y'all. You see how Joker played this year, right? He gonna play just as good next year, have a better record. So should he get the MVP?
Nope.
I don't think. But now it's gonna be like.
But I don't think he's gonna be as good though.
Nah, if Murray's there
production
time, I think Murray's gonna take some.
I think he'll still be an
MVP. If MPJ there, I always clown on MPJ because he's always injured. But if MPJ's there fully healthy, we saw what he gave you in a good season. It was 19 points. Yeah. So, and he had good shooting splits. Like he had very nice shooting splits. If I'm not bullshit.
Nice, yeah.
So if they could come there, definitely take some of that load off of him. But I just don't know. Because the offense still gonna, and y'all know my questions about the Nuggets. I've never seen an offense like this work, and I don't think it's going to work. That's just my opinion. I want them to prove me wrong.
I don't think we ain't never seen the offense like this work. We just never seen a player like Jokic.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I never seen an offense revolved around a passing big.
I agree with you on that because the same thing we felt about the Warriors, we never see a shoot team until they prove it. That's
until they prove it, right? Because everybody was saying with the Warriors before they won championship, you live by the 3, you die by the 3.
Yep.
They're gonna shoot all these threes, and then when it come down to it, they're gonna miss a whole bunch of threes. And then we saw it with the Rockets.
I actually was one of the people that thought the Warriors could win the title that way, like before it happened. Like,
no, me too. I thought
it was possible.
The way Curry was and the way he was changing how people like how players had to guard him. I thought like, yo, this Warrior team is special. And with Klay Thompson not being that knockdown shooter for him and Draymond Green at that time being able to knock down threes too.
Draymond is the player that did it for me. Because
it was all three of them for me.
It's just a collective effort, but it was Draymond's ability to take the big man out the game.
Yep.
That was what changed the game for the Warriors. Like you couldn't even play fives no more against them because Draymond is taking them out the game defensively, and then offensively they can't guard him on the other end because he's at the perimeter setting up and running plays and shit
and shooting threes. Now he don't want to shoot nothing.
Now he don't shoot nothing.
What happened to him?
But that's what I'm saying.
They still got a ring with him, like not being able to shoot no more.
But Draymond split that role with Curry.
I love it.
He split it with Curry because Curry also runs the offense somewhat, and that's why I think worked for him is that Draymond isn't a big; he's really a power forward or
Curry
a
don't
small
run the
forward.
offense though. He's just
I'm just saying,
facility.
Sometimes he call plays, he runs off, bang. That's what I'm saying. He just sets up the play and stuff like that. But Draymond is their heart and soul of their facilitation. But that to me, that's a little different from Draymond and Jokic. Jokic is literally a center. Like he's a big man that can score, he can pass his ass off, and he has a high IQ for the game. He really does. But what scares me about that, what's up, Gabe? What scares me about that is making sure or is having the right pieces around him to win a championship. But then if you look at other teams around the Nuggets, and this is why I say I don't think it's going to work, and it's not because of them, it's because the teams that's getting better around them. Like the Warriors, I don't think the people expected the Warriors to come back like they did and win a championship. I don't think I'm talking about the majority. I'm talking about the majority of sports world. I don't think the majority.
I think it was 50-50.
It could have been 45. 55.
I think people see the window closing. That's all it is.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think people thought the Warriors was done, but then when the Warriors came out and they started playing
that's what I was told a lot.
I think when the Warriors came out and they started playing well, everybody was like, "Oh no, they legit! Oh, they could win a championship." They hop back on it. I've seen that fluctuation on Facebook Sports Group.
But I think it's a still you gotta factor in like
health.
It's health on everyone because I think me personally, I think when healthy, the Clippers are the best team in the West.
The who?
Yeah, they
hold on.
They got the best roster.
The Clippers.
This is what I'm thinking, but this is what I'm thinking. Right?
On paper, fully healthy, they have the best roster.
Yeah, I would say
okay. On paper,
I'm talking about fully healthy. I'm talking about fully healthy.
Fully healthy.
Fully healthy on paper, they have the best roster.
I think when the playoffs start, right? Right, because that's a new season, right? I think when the playoffs start, if Kawhi Leonard is healthy, he's arguably the best player in the world.
No.
Oh my God.
He was in that conversation for years. He was in that conversation for years.
I'll say when the playoffs start, like
he was up there with LeBron and KD, so we can't act like
the playoffs
cannot act like
that's true.
Not be in that conversation.
Yeah, he like
there already, and he was fighting KD for the second spot for a couple of years. So,
but now
I don't think that's that. I don't think that's not ridiculous.
I gotta see him with the injury though. I do need to see him without the injury, but I just think Kawhi and Paul George is the scariest duo when healthy. Like that duo, they literally
complement each other so well.
They like the same two players. Like,
but they could play with each other.
Exactly.
But they complement each other really. Like it's like the best. Like,
all right, stop me when I go off the hinges, right? Teams that I think could potentially that got better or can still be in the same position that they were last year. Okay. The Suns, because they kept Ayton, right? So it's still basically the same team, right?
It's still the same team. You just don't know how Ayton
going to play, right? But I'm just saying that Ayton has to play because they got him under contract, right? So he's going to go out there, and if he plays, right? So I still got them as a top team. Don't know if they finish one top team, right? Grizzlies, right? Grizzlies are still there. Golden State, Dallas, Utah. We're gonna say not there no more, right? So we got 4 teams, right? Then we got New Orleans. We got the Clippers. We got the Lakers, which is 7 teams, right? Now the question mark might be the Clippers. So the Lakers. So if it's the Lakers, the Nuggets to me would be 8 or 7. To me,
I don't know.
And I'm not saying that's the order they fall in. They would be 8 to 7, but I'm saying those teams got better. Like these teams are coming into their own and could potentially, when it comes down to it, get lucky in the playoffs to where they have to play somebody and have a little easier road than the Nuggets. The Nuggets might have to play Golden State in the first round again. You feel me what I'm saying?
My question with the Clippers on how much PTO time they gonna put in this year?
We don't know, but some people
Not the PTO.
Not the
some
PTO,
people
They added John Wall. He known for that. He PTO for like 2-3 years.
No, he got injured. Stop doing
Not
that.
the PTO.
I'm just asking.
But some people actually didn't know that NBA players get PTO.
I mean, I personally think the Clippers are going to be a top 4 seed. I don't think they're a team that cares about being a number 1 seed and all that. They just care about being
what do you got to be top 3 seeds to get home court advantage?
Top 4.
Top 4?
Top 4.
Top 4, yep.
Yep. So I think if they 3 or 4, that's cool for them. But I do think the Nuggets, and this is, I agree with G Baby when he's optimistic about it. I understand his optimism, but that's the whole thing. They should be better based off what we've seen last year. They should be better. Like that's all I'm saying about, not to go back to it, but like when you add those type of players,
100%, I agree.
You just should be better. That's all.
You should
definitely.
You should be better. And
the Nuggets should be better next year, but it's like how much better are the teams?
It all depends on Murray, though. That depends on how good Murray's going to be.
It depends on Murray and MPJ for me. It doesn't just depend on. It depends on MPJ too. Because if he could come back giving them 19 points on those same splits or closer to them same splits, then I could see them in the Western Conference Finals again.
Yeah,
agreed.
But what I'm saying is Grizzlies got better, right? You can say Dallas got.
Did the Grizzlies get better?
Their experience is gonna have to
get
better.
That's all. Right, got better or can be in the same position. That's what I'm saying. So the Grizzlies could be in the same position, right?
Yes.
The Suns could be in the same position.
Yes.
Golden State could be in the same position.
Yes.
Dallas, you could say got better, right? You could say the Clippers got better. New Orleans, Zion comes back, got better, right? The
better.
Lakers could be in the same position or in a better position. They can make the playoffs, is what I'm saying, right? So you got to take. Right, you got to take those 6-7 teams, and then you got to decipher where the Nuggets are at their top peak are in those teams. Do we think they're better than the Suns? We could probably say
maybe. That's a maybe. That's a maybe.
Are they better than Memphis?
Fully healthy, I would definitely say maybe.
Are they better than Memphis?
I think they could be better than Memphis.
Fully healthy, I think they're better than Memphis.
I could say if they're fully healthy, they're better than Memphis.
Okay.
Right, Golden State. No,
I gotta see. That definitely gonna depend on how good Jamal Murray is gonna be.
Dallas.
Yes.
We can say they're better than Dallas. All right. New Orleans.
Yes.
Possible.
Maybe.
I think
you gotta see. They gotta show me something.
I feel you on that. That's how I feel. I think
New Orleans,
talent-wise, they should be a top 4 seed.
Maybe.
I'm trying to tell you, New Orleans talent-wise is going to be.
Are they better than the Clippers?
Bro.
No.
Did you bring up Minnesota too? I don't know if you said Minnesota.
No, are they better than Minnesota?
That's an iffy. That's an iffy too. That's a maybe.
Minnesota's
a maybe.
On the fence for me too.
So, and that's another team I didn't mention on team getting better. We add that team that's 9 teams. You would have to cipher in where the Nuggets are. Because if Jokic doesn't have a 100% Murray or solid Murray form, the Murray that averaged 19 or 20, 20 points before the bubble
20.
or whatever it was, 20 points in the bubble, and then you get the MPJ for 19, that gives him options, like Boo I was saying with Chris Middleton, to space the floor out so it's not just Jokic in the playoffs. But another aspect you have to look at is those guys have to play in the playoffs. Like they have to actually be effective in impacting the game in the playoffs. Because if they're not, then the teams, I still see the Nuggets as beatable.
Yeah,
and it depends on MPJ and Murray, not Jokic.
And then what people don't even talk about it because the West was kind of bad this year. The West coming back this upcoming.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of teams around the Nuggets are going to be in that same position, or it's going to be a little bit better. And that's the same thing I was saying about the Bucks.
The West wasn't really bad though. They was
it was injuries. It was injuries.
But compared to the East,
it was just injuries.
But the East was tough this year.
The East was tougher than that's the thing. The East was tougher than normal. But realistically, right, I want to say the top 4 seeds in the West, or the top 3 for sure, had a better record than Boston. And what, Boston was the 2 seed?
Yep.
I think Dallas had the same record.
64-18 for Phoenix, 56-26 for Memphis, 53 and 29 for Golden State, and Dallas at 52 and 30, and Boston was 51 and 31. Yeah. The same as the Bucks.
Yep.
So that's what I agree. Like the West was the bottom five, the bottom.
I think people are saying the West was weaker because LeBron, Lakers didn't make the playoffs,
and then the injuries that
and the
like
Clippers.
all the teams come
and the Clippers too. Yeah.
They could make no deep run, but all
Exactly.
the East people didn't start getting hurt till like it was really only Middleton really, and everybody else was healthy. So it's like you had to go through the gut to get through the East.
It was a couple of teams that started getting hurt towards the end. Cleveland got hurt. Cleveland got hurt towards the end.
I'd say Cleveland got hurt,
which derailed them so much because they was on the promise road to like make some noise in that first round of the playoffs.
I think if they had a healthy Jared Allen, I think they really make.
And then the Knicks the fall from grace from the Knicks is just like from last year to this year. It's just like,
man, that shit was fugazi, man.
Do you think
they put on a blindfold and walked right off a cliff?
SB, do you think Brunson makes that big of a difference to the Nets this year?
No.
First of all, I think Thibodeau ain't gonna make it through the year because
Hell no.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because Thibodeau don't play guards who don't play defense.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I said I didn't understand the Bronson signing.
You know why? His coach on the sideline, but he just literally had a guy. I understand Kemba Old now. They're going literally the same size, same dynamic.
Kemba was balling when he played too.
He took Kemba out the rotation. Like literally, he wasn't in like he was DNP coach's decision. Now you can pay another guy $100-some million. I feel like what Thibodeau gonna do? We're gonna see if Thibodeau play because you got to pay him. You paid him too much money not to play him.
Yep. You got to play him.
But I think some coaches are just out of the league now.
I don't think Tibbs is necessary because you can't really.
I love Tibbs too. Chicago.
Yeah, you can't really fault him. I fault Julius Randle. You
but
can't
Julius Randle should have never been a number one option.
It's not Tibbs' fault.
Niggas just surprise people.
Right.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. But he should never be a number one option.
But you got to go with your best player. And last year he looked like, you know what I'm saying, a decent number one option.
Yeah, the year before this year.
You know what I'm saying? Right. He looked it like he was all NBA. He looked it legit.
During the regular season.
He got exposed in the playoffs. And then this year he got that carried over. Like he only go left.
Damn, GK, he did more than Jeremy Lin for the Knicks.
Like that's all Julius Randle do. He go left. And I like him, but at the end of the day, that's not hard to stop as a number one option. Like truly, I thought
the Wizards too. The Wizards was up there and they fell off because they started dealing with some injuries too.
Yeah, that's true too.
They was a top 6 seed.
So I could see the East being shaken up between that 5, 6, 7, and 8 seed next year.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's true. Because early the Wizards was one of the best defensive teams in the league.
Yeah,
5 through 12.
And now you got Porzingis, you got Bill coming back, you got Kuzma still over there. Like that's gonna be a tough team if they could come out and play with some energy and some purpose every night.
Morris and what's his name from Denver?
I think so.
Yeah,
they traded somebody.
He
a solid backup point guard.
Yeah, definitely. So they got better. I don't know. The East might be shaken up to the point where we don't recognize the bottom 4 seeds now. 6, 7, 8, and 9th, and plus 10 last 5 seeds.
Well, we said the top 4 should be the Nets, Brooklyn,
Boston,
Milwaukee,
Bucks, and Sixers.
The Sixers. So I think Chicago is in the mix.
Yeah, Toronto,
Cleveland's in the mix. Toronto,
Cleveland,
Miami.
Yep. Chicago, Toronto, Cleveland, Miami.
That's what 17 is right there. We just
said that's already 4. That's already you just added 4 already.
Atlanta. We forgot about Atlanta.
I said Atlanta.
Charlotte might still be. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see how they act under this new coach because now they had that.
Charlotte didn't they deal with some injuries too? They was playing well too, and then they started.
They was dealing with immaturity. That's
immaturity. I agree.
Yeah, I was gonna say they was dealing with immaturity.
And they could sign Miles Bridges back too if he get through his.
I think he want to rap, man. I don't know. I don't think he want to rap.
Yeah, some guys don't. Yeah, that's exactly what he want to do, boy. He want to trap.
He want to trap.
There's some guys can't leave the life alone, bro.
Yeah.
Some guys just can't leave the life alone.
Even though this team might not be good for the once in a long time, Detroit Pistons might actually be watchable.
They might be watchable. I agree.
Yeah, watchable, but not good.
I understand where you're coming from with that.
Not watchable, but not good.
Watchable. They're gonna be.
I don't got Dumb. I don't got Indy. I don't got Magic. I don't got none of those teams being good.
Yeah, but a lot of teams for the tank for that rookie.
San Antonio getting him. Ain't nobody gonna tank like San Antonio.
Yeah, Tank finna say, you know what San Antonio
I'm
tank.
gonna be like, I showed you I could do it at the highest level. I could get you championships and win them over and over and over and over. I have never showed you the master of tanking.
Yeah, he started to tank it. If you think about it,
we ain't winning not one game. All right, we going 0-82.
Hey, I'll be shocked. They will make sure they.
He started tank. He started load management for sure, though.
100%.
Oh, factually.
That's what he definitely started.
No, they take the guy Tim Duncan.
They didn't tank. They just David Robinson got hurt.
Yeah, D got
they like, oh yeah, we got a young guy here. This Tim Duncan.
You know what? It was crazy. I was just reading like Dominique Wilkins was talking about like he only played for Pop that year in particular. That was the year he played for him. That 96 season. He was just talking about how like Pop, he knew Pop was going to be a great coach because he didn't let them tank then. They just didn't. They suffered a lot of injuries, just not David Robinson. It was other guys that got hurt. But Dominique said then like he knew Pop was going to be a great coach because he knew X's and O's. He still tried to play to win at all times.
No, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to make it look like to the public, you know.
So I want to ask you all something. Anthony Edwards said that he will be in the best player conversation after next year.
Hey.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I think it's time to turn the keys over to him in Minnesota for sure.
No, I'm talking about. He said, best player.
Yeah, he's
not on the team.
I ain't mad at his confidence.
Not on the team in the league.
I respect his confidence. Definitely.
Conversation. I don't care.
I don't even think he'd be top 10.
I don't care about his confidence.
And that's where I was going with that.
You can have all the confidence you need. You keep doing you playing in the NBA, brother. But in my opinion, just the fans' opinion, you know, me over here, you ain't no damn best player in the league. Best player on the Wolves. I can give you best player on the Wolves.
I respect the conviction, though.
You ain't near Giannis. You're not near Giannis. You're not near Joker. All right.
No.
He's gonna be the best player in his position in the next couple of years, though, for sure.
Maybe. Yeah, KD. Still not taking you over KD.
No, he had two.
He had two. So
yeah, I know, but
he would have
Booker,
Bradley Beal, Donovan Mitchell.
I can see him getting past Beal.
I can see him getting past
Booker. Because they get older. But I'm talking about right next year.
I think he'd be better than them in the next couple of years.
Next couple, but he said next year.
He'd be in that conversation.
Best player, but we just taking his position. Bill's still better than him. D Book's still better than him. D Mitch still better than him. Like,
I agree. I think
that's tough. He had to. Best player is a tough one. He said best player is position. I can see.
Maybe we'd be arguing. We'd be talking about something.
I'd be like, okay, but best player overall.
Yeah.
You
still like you said, you still got KD, Giannis,
Luka,
Embiid, Joker, Steph.
I was to say Luka, Steph, Ja. Shit.
Yeah, he got along with Tatum. Because Tatum in that top 10 now. A lot of people. Tatum is a top 10 player. A lot of people didn't want to put my boy in there. But
I got Tatum. You can't see him, but he like right.
Zach LaVine too is a hell of a young player.
That's him dunking on LeBron. No, that's Paul Pierce. I'm sorry, he below Paul Pierce. He's right there. He's dunking on LeBron. But I didn't have Boo. I tell you, I was so hesitant to say Tatum is a top 10 player.
Oh no, he earned it. Now I was saying it before then, but people don't like because I said Tatum is my favorite.
Now I know people just looking at the finals performance and like, he choked. That shit
didn't do nothing for me.
It didn't do nothing for me.
Yeah, finals performance didn't really do shit for me either. I always thought he was for sure top 10.
Top 10. He's 11 for me.
Yeah, not for me. What made me put him there was consistently being having his team in a winning situation over multiple years. He's been a contending team or potentially contending team since he's been in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Eastern Conference Finals, second round. I think Eastern Conference Finals, first round, something like that.
Yep.
And then finals.
Yep. And he did that. The conference finals, his rookie year, right?
Mm-hmm. That was his first one. Then I think they went to the second round or the first round in next year, and then he went back to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, so I think he definitely earned his key. So now it's like him making that finals appearance where it's like you can't question it no more. Because then they tried to question it again because Jaylen Brown played as good as he did in the finals, and I'm like, it's still Tatum team, but Brown definitely balled out.
Yeah. This year, definitely Tatum showed that this was his team.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, I got a question for y'all. What can Anthony Edwards do to be in the conversation for the best
player? I don't know, because you got Ja Morant coming after him, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Trae Young.
Mm-hmm.
You got D Mitch. You got all these other guys that I think have a like more of a quick game than him.
Mm-hmm.
He has more learning than they do. So I don't know. Those guys are probably going to be the face of the league before he becomes the face of the league.
I'm gonna make it a little
because Giannis is still there too. Giannis is still young, and so is Joker. So it's like to say Anthony Edwards in the next 3, 4, 5 years is going to be better than Giannis and the Joker and Embiid.
I can't see it.
Yeah, I can't see that.
I think
honestly,
for him to get in that conversation,
he would have to win MVP.
Obviously, he would have to. Definitely, he would have to win one of those for him to definitely be in the conversation
this next year. Like
you can't take somebody that won the MVP and not be like he's not in the best player in the world conversation. Like
for sure.
But I think he's a 2 guard. So for 2 guards, you have to at least be a top 7, top 8 scorer in the league, at least at the bare minimum. So over 25 points a game. Then he would have to be the elite defender.
Definitely.
That's what I would have to see from him. To consider him in that type, because as a 2 guard, you're a scorer. You're not asked to facilitate. You're asked to basically put the ball in the hole and be what Kobe and Mike was, a great defender on the other end. Like that's it.
And I think the Timberwolves have to be winning too. I think they have to be at least a top
4 seed.
4 seed. Yep.
Maybe 3.
I feel like he has to play smarter, honestly.
How do you think that concept is going to work with Anthony Edwards taking the realm over with Cat and then Gobert there now?
I mean, all I can say is if Cat don't want that to happen, it can't hurt the team, because that means Cat is stepping up. He don't want to let go of the throne, and that'll be good for the Timberwolves, honestly.
Yeah, that'll be really good for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, it can't hurt them for Cat to decide he want to be an elite player, because Anthony Edwards is going to do his thing regardless.
That's what I see.
Regardless, he gonna do his shit regardless.
And I just feel like I think Cat kind of did, because Anthony Edwards was the best player on their team this year, even though Cat was balling. But it seemed that they win more if the team go through Edwards over him. I feel like he should be happy to get a team up, because the team hasn't done anything under him.
Facts.
So if the team in better hands in Edwards, but you can still get your numbers, you go get your 23, 24, 12. 5.
I just feel like it gives Cat more leeway to be aggressive. It's not all on him. So now he actually has the opportunity to actually be him. He can step out on the perimeter, shoot. He can be on the inside, work the mid-range. He has so much more space, so much more opportunity to work, because now, even if he's not having a good game, which we've seen in the playoffs, he can just kick to the end and shit. And shit, take us home. So I just feel like I don't know. I've always said I don't know if Cat is ready to run a team, like his own team. He definitely needs help, but
So we're fine with centers being number one options.
Depends on which one you're talking about.
No,
because we wouldn't say Cat is the number one option for the Timberwolves.
Not no more. No,
not no more. No.
But for the past couple of years, he's been the number one option for the team.
Facts.
Yep.
Embiid is the number one option for the Sixers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Joker's the number one option for the Nuggets.
Cat just not on them guys' level though.
Nah, not no more. Not no more. He was up there with Embiid at
when they was young though. Yeah, they were in the same.
But he couldn't win though. He could.
The lead that Embiid and Jokic took over these last 2 years it's like Cat got left behind in the dirt.
Cat in the Adebayo conversation, like it's
right. That's what I was gonna say. Now you can put guys like Adebayo in front of him. Like
there's some people that think Rudy Gobert. There's some people that think Rudy Gobert better than Cat. Like,
we ain't doing that. He ain't better than
I would say in
I won't say that, but I know a lot of people who feel like that.
He's more. He you can argue that he's just as valuable as a Cat.
Okay,
and I can understand why people say that too.
I give you that for sure.
I can agree there.
I agree with that for sure.
And especially now that they playing together, I think he's gonna help Cat in tremendous ways. Cat can really be this dirt type player that he wants to be.
I get every rebound. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So
that's what I think they're gonna do. And the same thing with Ant-Man, he's taking the load off him offensively, which I thought that's what D'Lo should have did, but I don't know D'Lo left the Nets ain't really been the same since he left the Nets, but
No, he
It
ain't.
could just be the system that he playing in, though.
yeah.
I'm big on the system that guy's playing.
I think he just gotta let go of that. He not gonna probably be an all-star again, so he just need to let that go and just realize that he can be the point guard.
He can be if he go to a fucking average team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
D'Lo's
if he goes back to a
he's
team
a
like
ball
the Nets,
dominant person.
if he goes back to the like a team like the Nets, he could definitely be an all-star.
Yeah. But he's a ball dominant person. He likes to have the ball in his hands. He likes to work with the ball.
Yeah, he can't do that with the Timberwolves.
Yeah,
not no more.
Exactly.
He got to go to a team where he's the best player on the team, and on top of that, he got to hope. He got to hope that team kind of like gel a little bit while him being an all-star player, and they sneak into the playoffs.
Yep.
Like they got to be in the playoff conversation because that's how he got it. The Nets made the playoffs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how he got it. And I think he was a replacement too. I don't think he was voted in either.
No, I think he was voted in there. Yeah, they was going crazy.
I don't
know.
This
was nice.
They didn't make the playoffs before All-Star, so they were projected to go, but to get there with the record. But they were playing good. That's why he got in. And
they were solid.
Yeah, he was solid for sure. He was averaging like 21 and 7 or something like that. He was hooping. We'll see though. It's gonna be an interesting season, man. That's all I know.
Football season starting. Last thing I guess we could talk on real quick.
Football tomorrow, man.
Yes, sir.
Football season back. It's crazy.
Preseason start?
No, preseason start tomorrow, Thursday.
Yeah, that's not preseason start. But SB wanted to talk a little bit about the Deshaun Watson 6-game suspension. So
SB? Yeah, I think that was with the year the NFL trying to appeal to get him a year done. I think that was 100% PR move just to make the league look good. Because once it first came out, the league didn't say nothing. We didn't hear nothing. Then everybody got on all the shows saying they pointed the NFL fingers at them, saying they just let them get off a 6-game, making them look bad. So I just feel like it wasn't really a genuine move. They just trying to backtrack and say themselves, they're gonna protect the shield before anything. I honestly think they don't care. They probably would let him play in no game suspension at this point, because they need money. They need him on the field to make money. They need him on the field, especially in Cleveland.
What if they appeal it and he get 4 games?
That'd be crazy. What if they appeal it? That'd be crazy.
Oh, you want to appeal for a year? Oh, yeah. No, we think 6 too harsh. Give him 4.
Yeah. The same thing with Ben Roethlisberger when he had a case something like this. He had 6 and he only ended up doing 4.
Yeah, but did you see what Ben said?
No, what
I don't know if it's true. Let's say that, because sometimes we could get things wrong as fans. Yeah. But I did see something that said that Ben was like, "There's no place for him in the league. No place for pedophiles in the league, and this and that." And like,
yeah, I know he ain't said
that. Yeah, Ben couldn't have said that. I'm like, he could not have.
You ain't want to talk, big dog. You might want to sit this one out.
Yeah, you might have to sit that one out. You know, the room. You walked into the wrong room, my boy.
Look, yeah, you might want to turn around.
That's like a motherfucking crackhead walking to the room full of sober people. Like, bro, you in the wrong room, bro. This is not that.
This is not that conversation for you, sir. You might want to go ahead and sit down and be quiet. Don't talk too loud.
Like, bro, move around. Ben know what time it is.
Fast,
but I mean,
fast. Don't do that.
I told you guys earlier, and I said it before. I think he was punished already when the Texans. I know, like. SB did say, like, the Texans are going to sit here and be like, or the NFL will be like, oh, no, he didn't want to play, or people are going to say he didn't want to play, so he sat out last year. But in all reality, the Texans told him they weren't playing him. So technically, they made him sit out that year. So if you're going to give him a year suspension, just like when you go to jail or prison, you get if you're in jail 6 months waiting to go to trial, and then you go to trial, you get convicted, they give you 2 years in prison.
Time served, yep.
You get 6 months time served.
Yep.
But I know it's not. But I'm just saying as an example of what they could do. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna wait till it play out. But to the people that's walking around still calling Deshaun Watson a P word, I'm not sure we can say it on Twitch and thing. I said it one time. I'm trying to look again.
Yeah, don't do it. It ain't even worth it.
I told one of these dudes on Facebook because he's saying all this, and I'm like, he hasn't paid much attention to the Deshaun Watson case or read anything. I literally read the whole report, like the whole first, the not the deposition, but the court record that was released. I sat down and read the whole thing of each accuser and what they were accusing him of, and what was the evidence and stuff like that when the grand jury came back to not indict him. But what I would say is he could be a creep, you know, but you know, to the thing of his wanker touching people, you know, a lot of professional masseuses say that happens a lot when the guys get strong. They get strong during a massage, and then they'll turn over and they'll touch their arm or their hand. But it's like they did say that he never pulled, threatened, forced, or any of that on any of those girls. So I'm not willing to call him a P word. I'm just saying that he was just looking for how many happy endings he could get. That's it.
They said he was dry humping. That's how he signified he be dry humping. Like,
no, I don't believe that, bro.
That's what they say. Like
I didn't read that. They said he didn't pull, force. He didn't pull, force, or threaten any of them. So it's like if he didn't pull, force, he couldn't have been dry humping them.
Right? No, I'm saying like air humping, like they say that's his sign. Like,
hey, girl, you want me to give you that Marion?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
They say that was his way of like not.
That was the green light signal.
The green light signal, man.
You try and get that bound chicken? Wow.
Yeah, he was like, hold on. When I rub my nose, that's the high sign.
Right.
Yeah.
He said, blink twice if it's a yes. Like, no?
Oh,
okay.
my
Let me
God.
put my shit away. Let me put my towel. And they said he used to bring his own towels and his small towels. So he's strong, poke out of it.
Oh, man.
I'm saying he's a creep. I'm saying he's a creep, but I'm not willing to call him a P word.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna put that on them. I ain't gonna put that.
I can't put that.
It's still alleged, and I'm a firm believer that it's too many other cases that just they went straight after the money. Like, damn, like I went straight after
like
the
you
money.
see the real case, like somebody brought up the Jerry Sandusky case and Joe Paterno. Well, it was Jerry Sandusky who I think did it. And Joe Paterno was the guy who they
covered. He kind of covered.
They took it off, but he didn't. The guy is the same guy. He didn't pay attention to that case because he compared it. I'm like, he said the Jerry Sandusky case had no evidence, but Jerry Sandusky got convicted.
He definitely had evidence.
There was hella evidence.
Students,
and the thing I didn't like about Joe Paterno, and I'll be real, Joe Paterno did know.
Mm-hmm.
He had heard the rumors. They had been talking about this shit.
But he also did his job, and people don't talk about that. In his job, they said if an allegation is brought to you, you are to bring it to the higher ups of the college. He did that. And what I read, Joe Paterno did that. So he did his part. Could he have called the cops and always say this? Could he have called and reported him 100%? That's what he should have did. That would have been the right moral thing to do. But in his job, to the title or to the T of what they asked him to do, he did it. So, that case of Jerry Sandusky touching boys throughout the football years that he coached them, that is totally different from Deshaun Watson and them not having no real evidence and having evidence that supports Deshaun Watson text messages of these girls texting him, telling him how much fun they had, how they enjoyed him being there. Some of them actually having consensual sex with him and talking about it and bragging to their friends about it and their family about it. Like, that's what I'm saying. People don't really pay attention to stuff. They just go off of the he says, she says stuff. Yeah. And then when I told him, we could just look at Amber Heard and we should know that sometimes people lie, and he then was like, you're saying the Amber Heard, just because the Amber Heard lied, we should believe that everybody lied. I'm like, no, I'm not, but I'm telling you that you should know that some women do lie, just like some men lie. But
especially if there's money involved.
In this instance, though,
they all get paid. Every single
you have to look
all
at
24 of them got paid.
I think the only one that's holding out is the original one who did the.
I'd say the first girl. In this instance, because a lot of people will bring up the Amber Heard stuff and stuff like that. In this instance, you have to look at how many athletes have been accused of something like this that have turned out to be innocent.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's the conversations I've been having because a lot of people, you don't know, but you have to look at that because that's factual in this. Look at what's Brett from Baylor, Sean Oakman. I think that's his name. Same situation. He was literally accused of this shit, right? Come to find out, he's completely innocent. Now his life and his career is ruined, right? That was before he was projected top pick, right? You got to go back and look at all of this
massages, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look at all of the stuff that's happened and transpired. I'm not saying that we shouldn't just come out.
We're not saying not believe women. We believe women.
But you have to take that into account because that shit happens.
Where it's like, where do we believe them? Is it evidence behind believing them? Is it not? Like, I have, you know, in my past have been accused too, and it was totally false. And it was like, yo, that shit was scary because I'm a nobody on the street. I ain't got no fucking money. Like I could literally just go to prison for the shit. Like,
Right.
but
And
imagine
nobody will
somebody
care.
with money. Like imagine, and I don't really speak out about, you know, what happened to me because I don't really give a fuck about it. God had me, he held me in his hand real tight, and he didn't let nothing happen to me. But
Bless him.
you 100%. But some people don't get to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people God let
Facts.
go through it just so they can learn what that experience is like. Like some
Facts.
people get accused and they don't do it, and it's not just for you know, SA. It's not just for, you know, the R word. It's not just for those things. People get falsely accused of murder, of robbery, of stealing, of all the people get falsely accused of everything. Like there's a percentage of people in prison, in jail right now that's falsely accused of crimes.
Yep.
So to sit here and say everybody or every one gender, every single one of them that should be believed because they're women, I don't agree with that. But I do think real victims need to be believed. I do think we need to do more for real victims. Like, and I think the shit with Amber Heard and this shit with you know, Deshaun Watson, it only hurts and pushes back real victims because they're going to continue to not want to come forward and talk because they're going to look at answers like this and be like, oh, they said something and everybody just called them a liar. And even in court, they got found out to be a liar. And it's like, I don't want that to happen to me. And it's like, you shouldn't think that way. If something has happened to you, you need to tell the proper authorities. You need to, you know, don't, you know, get rid of evidence. You guys know what I mean. I can't really say it on Twitch and YouTube, but you guys don't need to.
No, that's facts.
No, it's traumatic. Like I have women that I grew up around that has happened to them, and I didn't even know it was happening to them. Like, so that's why I'm telling you, you guys got to speak up and tell the truth. Have the evidence there behind you. This is a day of evidence. Like, you got to make sure you have evidence.
Man, literally, this is literally the day of evidence.
You know, so they can scrape it off when you get there. Get some of that money. You guys got to, because we're not in a world where women can just be left alone. Like, we're not even in a world where men can be just left alone. There's dangers on both ends of it, but you guys got to take care of yourselves and do know when something does happen to you that there are real men out here that do care. But we're going to get lost in it because all the fake accusations that keep coming out, we can't just be there every time and then it turns out to be fake, and then we're going to sit back and think like who to believe and who not to believe. And I think that's the state we are in now with Deshaun Watson is like, and with Amber Heard is like, who do we believe and who do we not believe?
Yep. Are you right?
When there's evidence, and when there's evidence after an accusation or after somebody says something like that, it's hard not to believe them versus them just coming out and saying out of the random 3 months down the line after they stop, you know what I'm saying, messing with this type of person, you know what I'm saying, oh, this type of person did that. It's like, okay, it's kind of hard now because now we're trying to backtrack. We're trying to go back in time and try to figure out what happened back then instead of you coming up to us saying, hey, yo, this person did this right here, right now. This shit happened last night. I got all of the evidence, text messages, pictures, videos, all the shit like that.
My best,
you know what I'm saying? So it's different.
Major. I studied to be a homicide detective since I was 7, and I changed my mind because of all the senseless cop killings and people going to retaliate on cops that didn't do nothing. And I wasn't going to die in the street either way, not in the hood and not as a police officer. Yeah. Nothing happening. But I'll tell you from my criminal justice background, like the best thing you can do as a woman, and I know it's the hardest thing you can do, is go straight. I mean, right after it happens, go straight to the hospital. It's the best thing you can do. Just go straight to the hospital. And just tell them what happened and tell them to just run the R kit. Because now you give them the evidence they need. You know, and sometimes it's not even. Sometimes they wear protection. Sometimes they cover up. But that's why I say you got to, like, I know it's hard. And like I said, I done had conversation with real victims. Like some of my friends growing up were real victims. Like I know a girl who, you know, father passed away and she got put into, you know, she had some foster parents and a foster dad used to jerk off in front of her every night. Like shit crazy. And she never said a fucking word to me until she was 18 and she was able to get out the house. Where it's like, even me as a 12, 13-year-old boy, I probably would have killed that nigga.
Right, that's wild, bro.
Because it's like I probably would have attacked him, like just to know that she's in that.
Or
men
that's
like
wild, bro.
We will protect, but we got to know who to protect and make sure that we're protecting for the right reasons.
Or at least make it known to somebody else that this is happening. Because when it's just one person saying something, it's of course people are going to be difficult to believe. But if it's another person, and then on top of that, it's another person of the opposite sex or gender,
when
that
it's
shit
normal
resonates.
people,
That hits differently.
When it's normal people like us, you don't get the he did something to me. Oh, he did something to me. Oh, he did something to me too. Or he did something to me too. He did something to me too. You don't get that. You only get that when it's a big name that can shell out money. And some of the time it's true. I forget the guy that's in Epstein, right? Is it Epstein in there right now for that sort of stuff? Like there's something people that are true, and those are the people that we want to go after. But a lot of these times, like Johnny Depp got attacked. For nothing, lost money and jobs.
Opportunity. Yeah, bro.
For nothing. His name for nothing. And he had to sue, AH, because I said a name too much. They had to sue her to get his name back. And I feel bad for real victims because I know some that you guys don't have a voice because you feel like that when that shit happens to you, your voice is taken. But somewhere courage has to set in. And you guys got to start telling right away. Like right away. Tell right away.
Right away.
Get the shit done right away. And that shit will help you in the long run. I get it. You're going through emotions and you don't know how to feel, but you have to start helping yourself in today's society because you're going to have a lot of people that then it might come along and piggyback off you just coming out and saying that this happened to me. You need proof so you make sure you don't get caught up in the whirlwind of everybody wanting to be a part of something. And that's why I say the Me Too movement is great. But the Me Too movement, just like every other movement, gets sucked into scammers. Scammers would use your people to make their move, and that's what's happening with Me Too. A lot of women are trying to scam guys out of their money, and they're using the Me Too movement and then ultimately it's hurting the Me Too movement. People don't look at the Me Too movement like it's something good, and they should.
And that situation hurts people who actually going through stuff. Because like you said, probably with this Deshaun Watson situation, once money was involved, the numbers started going crazy. I think when it first came out, it was like maybe like 5 or 6 people. So probably like it's 5 people who probably really, really experienced something. Then you say,
it's probably like 5 people, 6 people, maybe 10 of them that really probably was uncomfortable, like with his strong man, like or whatever he did, wiggled it, waggled it, whatever. Like they would probably, but if they're saying like there was no evidence of force, coercion or anything like that, then you can't see him like he was just like, he probably fucking did some weird shit, and that's not cool. But we can't just be giving people the P names just to just give them the P name because they're weird in their sexual intents. Like we don't call swingers P words.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's true. They don't.
We don't call people that swat wives P words.
That's very true.
That's true. Yeah.
He just probably had some weird ass fetishes that he should have kept in his damn bedroom, bro. But I don't know. Like, do you guys think to the original question? Do you think the 6 games is enough, or do you think he should be suspended for a year?
I think 6 is.
I thought he was going to get 8, honestly.
Yeah, I thought, but 6 is right around the range. You get 6 because now, like I said, the same thing that happened with Ben. Y'all gave Ben 6,
and I think that's what they were looking at.
Yeah, and then I know everybody want to bring up the betting thing with him getting a year off, and I forgot what the other guy did too.
Riley,
drug thing, but then the betting thing. But it's like you gotta look at the betting thing as like, okay, it's fans who put their hard-earned money into these games, or if you betting on games, you could bet you have an under on yards, and then you would choke the game on purpose, or know.
The Calvin Ridley situation was very, very different. I've seen a lot of people trying to compare the two situations.
100%. He got a year for
betting. Very different.
Like, you can't bet, bro. With betting inside of your job.
Exactly. Because it makes it seem like you're not genuine when you're playing. It doesn't matter how many times you did it. It doesn't matter the amount.
Have you ever heard of the player Headache?
Headache?
The basketball player Headache. He was a college player. I don't think he ever made it to the NBA.
Okay.
Headache was a guy. He was in college. I forget what college he went to, but he got in with this guy who was betting, and started betting on his games because he needed money. He had no food in college. He was by himself. He needed the way to get money. Saw this guy, talked to him, said he can get him in betting, but he needs him. It's called point shaving. He was shaving points.
Yeah, point shaving. That's where it came from.
Making sure the points hit where they needed to hit. And he was doing a damn good job at it. And I think he lost like maybe 3 games and fucked up a little bit. But he wound up bringing his boy in and they made some money, but they wound up getting caught. And it messed his career up. Really fucked his career up. And that's why the NFL is like players cannot bet because they have had it done already where players shave points and try to affect the game.
Yeah, let him know if you need 5 catches in the game.
You guys already, there's people already out here, conspiracy theorists that say the NBA is shaving points because a team will get a free throw at the end of the game to miss the point spread or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, it's basketball, bro. If a team get foul, you call a foul, you call a foul. It's not to shave points. This ain't that the other ref. I don't know, forget his damn name. Yeah, I forget that.
I know you're talking about the one from the Kings and the Lakers series.
Tim Donahue or something like
Donahue, there you go.
From the Lakers, he said
he's all over the place doing interviews too now.
Yeah, he trying to get that money back.
Hell yeah!
I say he's trying to get his money back after he went to jail.
Hell yeah, he trying to get his money back. He
got to get that paper back.
All that monies I had. But let's get up out of here.
Yeah, man. Salute. Appreciate you having me on, man.
Who our final thoughts?
You already know, man. I'll see you guys on Friday, man.
Friday. It's going to be fire. Got G-Baby back in the house. Mel back in the house. Moolah's final thoughts.
Y'all know what it is, man. The Sports Maru. Follow me on TikTok, Twitter. And, yeah. Appreciate y'all fucking me, man. I'm going to see y'all soon.
Yeah, real takes over fake debates, man.
Oh, fake debates.
Yes, go. I appreciate you having me on, man. Definitely come through. Anytime you need me to come through, I'll definitely come through again, man. No
Word, we're gonna see about Friday. I'll let you know if I need a person Friday, and we're gonna shoot the shit. Yeah. So we got some football on the dock, and we got some basketball on the dock. So it's gonna be fun. But yeah, shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to you guys watching, supporting us, man. Love you guys. You see, we're getting bigger and bigger guests, man. We're gonna start, getting those names up here, man. So we can, chat up with them and see how their lives going. SB is he works at a radio station, so he has some sports radio station, right?
No, I'm at a news one for this one.
Oh, news one. But yeah, he has some history in radio, TV, and stuff like that. So you guys can
with the Bulls too.
Right. You said with who?
The Windy City. I used to work with the Windy City Bulls, the Bulls G League team.
There you go. You used to work for the Bulls.
From Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Out west, 290, man.
Out south, man.
Oh, God. Oh, he's a dangerous man. He's a south.